Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens. Have you bought Bitcoin today? Did you get to one Bitcoin? This is the greatest wealth transfer in human history. Jerome Powell, they're admitting they've lost control of inflation. Bitcoin on exchanges, it has hit all-time highs. Banks are trying to buy Bitcoin directly from the miners. If you take one thing away from this video, and we're going to go over the news with the fast facts as it relates to Bitcoin, but if you're new to Bitcoin, take this as advice. Buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. After you do that, study it as quick as you can. Beers for Bitcoin is probably the easiest, quickest book. Have a little sense of urgency. There is so much that is going on around the world. Take this. So Edward Snowden posted this morning. This is out of the Wall Street Journal. What's wrong with the economy? It's not you. It's you, not the data. Citizens around the world are being gaslit to believe that they're wrong. What they're seeing, what they're feeling with their wallet when they go to the supermarket, pay their electricity bill with rent. It's not inflation. There's nothing wrong with the economy. It's them. This is a psyop, a psychological operation that's happening at the highest level. And to be honest, it's not going to stop. Whether we go into hyperinflation or just inflation, inflation is here. The dollar, wherever you are, your currency is going to lose more and more and more purchasing power over time, guaranteed. It's just math. Bitcoin is the world's hardest asset, the best form of money humanity has ever known. In the history of humanity, and this thing's only 15 years old, and we can see the price, 67,891. This is a nice, big, beautiful green buy button. Just smash it. But if it's red, just smash it as well. Make the most of it. That's the PSA. So let's jump in to the news with the fast facts. This morning, the news with the fast facts. Buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. It literally is the most important thing you can do right now. Jerome Powell, we're going to listen to him. They know the game's up. They're not even trying to pretend anymore. So listen to what he has to say.
On inflation, it is too soon to say whether the recent readings represent more than just a bump. We do not expect that it will be appropriate to lower our policy rate until we have greater confidence that inflation is moving sustainably down toward 2%. Given the strength of the economy and progress on inflation so far, we have time to let the incoming data guide our decisions on policy. We've held our policy rate at its current level since last July, as shown in the individual projections that the FOMC released just 2 weeks ago. My colleagues and I continue to believe that the policy rate is likely at its peak for this tightening cycle. If the economy evolves broadly as we expect, most FOMC participants see it as likely to be appropriate to begin lowering the policy rate at some point this year. Of course, that outlook is still quite uncertain, and we face risks on both sides. Reducing rates too soon or too much could result in a reversal of the progress we've seen on inflation and ultimately require even tighter policy to get inflation back to 2%. But easing policy too late or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. As progress on inflation continues and labor market tightness eases, these risks continue to move into better balance. As conditions evolve, monetary policy is well positioned to confront either of these risks. We are making decisions meeting by meeting, and we'll do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. On inflation,
that's absolutely fantastic. The gentlemen running the world's economy, they're making decisions meeting by meeting. Do they sit there with a dartboard and just choose what they're going to do? Is that what they're up to? Or maybe they're playing a game of pool or checkers while the rest of the world is playing chess, and they choose whoever the winner is gets to implement their situation. Little bit of tongue in cheek, but they have no idea what's going on. They're not being very forthcoming what is going to happen. At some stage, we have to see rate cuts. There's going to be a massive rate up, but when in doubt, just zoom out. Please just stack as much as possible. There's a race going on for Bitcoin. Morgan Stanley wants to be the first US bank to fully approve Bitcoin ETFs for advisors to proactively offer it to any client. They are in a race with UBS to approve, both going through compliance process now. First major brokerage to approve will likely lead to all doing the same. This is game theory. You cannot change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. We see a new low for Bitcoin held on the exchanges. In the last 24 hours, 8.9 thousand Bitcoin have been taken off from exchanges, 5,500 from Binance and 3.6 thousand from Bitfinex, reaching a supply of 1.74 million Bitcoins. I've been thinking about this. It's 21 million. Let me get through this and I'll give you my thoughts on exchanges, and 81,000 Bitcoin withdrawn in the last 30 days. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. It's the world's hardest asset, the best form of digital property that's ever existed. We've had this bill in Australia pass for digital IDs. We've got one more chance to stop it. Regardless, they're going to try push it through at some stage. The world is going cashless more and more. As we're saying, you're getting pushed into CBDCs. Property, you buy it, buy a home, live in a home, but you don't need 10 investment properties. Have a second property. That's fine, a place to be able to escape to. I understand that, your citadel. And then people are just going to store the rest of their purchasing power in Bitcoin forever. Like, we're so early to this thing. But the 21 million, there's Bitcoin maxis, the psychopaths, those people with the laser eyes on X, hello, that are never going to sell for any price because it doesn't make any sense, because we've gone through them, we've read all the books, like all the Bitcoin books. There's so many out there. It takes 10 hours to get a fundamental, like a little understanding, maybe 100 hours to get a nice foundation. When you're at 1,000 hours, you're pretty sweet. I understand most people aren't going to do that, but the people that do that, they put in 1,000, 8,000, 8,500 hours plus 10,000 hours, continues to go on. They're not selling to anyone else. BlackRock, Wall Street, they're sucking that up. Wall Street has about 5% of the Bitcoin supply. Michael Saylor has 1% of the Bitcoin supply. That's not coming back onto the market. That's 6% gone. A lot of the Bitcoin, 76% hasn't moved in the last 6 months. Please make the most of this opportunity. This is like buying something better than Miami real estate 40, 60 years ago. Just have a little bit of patience, but please just smash that buy button as much as you possibly can. And it's just been taken off, reaching out to the miners. The banks are reaching out to miners to be able to pull the Bitcoin before it hits the market, because there's none left. 21.4 thousand Bitcoin, just 1.4 billion moves to an accumulation address. Does some of this come back onto the market? Yeah, but not all of it will. Bitcoin, it's going up forever. This is coal. The computing power of the Bitcoin network does over 600 quintillion calculations per second. Quintillion per second. The number is just so large, gets caught in your mouth. 1 quintillion seconds was 32 billion years ago. Multiply that by 600 and you get 19.2 trillion years. The Big Bang Theory supposedly happened 13.8 billion years ago. Wow. 19.2 trillion divided by 13.8 billion, 1,391. The computing power of the Bitcoin network is 1,391 times the length of the universe's existence. In case you didn't get that, the computing power of the Bitcoin network, 1,391 times the length of the universe's existence. Now, calculations per second, a rate of computation in seconds, a unit of time, aren't necessarily relatable. This is more about understanding the magnitude of 600 quintillion calculations per second. A year ago, Bitcoin's computing power was 250 quintillion calculations per second. That number has more than doubled in just 1 year with no signs of slowing down. Obviously, Greenpeace are coming out attacking the energy use of Bitcoin. We're going to dive into gold and how bad that is for the energy use, even though they gaslight us all the time. They're trying to FUD this. Bitcoin is using more sustainable energy than any other industry in the world. Name one that's better off, 54%, apart from renewables themselves. Bitcoin will continue to use an exorbitant amount of electricity. Is that a bad thing? No, it's sucking up electricity, building out grids, making the electricity infrastructure a whole lot better. And just grabbing that stranded electricity. It's stopping the world going to waste. Now, Bitcoin has shown you there is a verifiably absolute scarce asset secured by a computer network 1.3k times more powerful than the length of all time, and that network is only getting more powerful. Do you think it's coincidence Bitcoin is the best performing asset since its inception 15 years ago? There's more upside in front of us than there is behind us. Bitcoin is the apex predator of wealth storage. You cannot store your value better than in a place that is verifiably absolutely scarce, especially when the place is secured by computers doing 600 quintillion calculations per second. There is an asset that they are never making any more of, secured by 19.2 trillion years of time. That's the power of Bitcoin. TikTok next block, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's 68,000, 63,500, 62,000, whatever the low was in the last 7 days, just accumulate as much as possible. Anything under $1 million is still cheap. Under $100,000, it's an absolute bargain. Whatever number it is, just get as much as you can now. Study it, go hard, be a psychopath for it, study it, and then just DCA all the way. I'm not sure where you are in life. I don't know. But Bitcoin can change your life pretty quickly. And it changes everything around you, the way that you reference the world, because now we have this anchor block in time that's so solid, that's pure truth, and we start aligning ourselves to that. It changes everything. We don't need to go down that side of things today, but it's an enjoyable journey. Make the most of it. If you need a little bit of help, the Bitcoin Way, I want to shout out to these guys. They are today's sponsor, but we've teamed up. They'll really look after you. They've got 25 years of cybersecurity experience. They're absolutely incredible. If you've got your Bitcoin, especially on an exchange, and you're a little bit unsure how to put it into a hardware wallet, which looks like a calculator or a USB device, basically, it allows you to be your own bank when you set up a node. Reach out to the Bitcoin Way. The first 30 minutes is free. They can go through everything. Make sure your computer's locked down, allow you to be a self-sovereign individual. If you need to know the difference between KYC and KYC-free Bitcoin and how to go about it, reach out to the Bitcoin Way today. They never touch your keys. They never touch their coins. I've made it super easy for you. Link at the top of the description and say g'day. But if you need a little bit of help, or you just want to go over and verify that your generational wealth is secure, I'd urge you to do that. You don't even need to say you heard it here. Just have a talk and make sure everything is all good. So, block height 837,720. The exchange rate 67,975. We are getting a little bit of volatility leading into the halving. We're going to dive into when the halving is. Maybe a little bit of disappointment for everyone. Shout out to everyone that is watching live. We've got so much news to get through. Then we'll get into a banter at the end. But if you can smash the like button, like, that's the greatest thing that you could do for me. Make my day, please. I appreciate it. If you're lurking, especially in the live, drop a comment. Appreciate it. We'll dive into that shortly. And hit subscribe if you vibe. So we vibe. April 21st. We're looking for 420. April 21st. This number is going to go up and down a whole lot. And it depends what calculator countdown you are using. But 15 days, 20 hours, 50 minutes. Blocks remaining 2,280. Regardless of what day it happens, when the halving happens, the amount of Bitcoin goes from roughly about 900 per day down to 450. The inflation rate is then lower than gold. And this is what starts these parabolic rallies. Volatility is incoming, but the reason Bitcoin's not risky is literally because it's pure math that's designed to go up and to the right forever. Whatever price it is, if you buy and it comes down, that just means you've got the opportunity to buy more even cheaper. If your thesis hasn't changed, if by that time you've read the books, that you understand, hey, this is a fantastic opportunity. April 21st, April 2020. Don't worry about it. I'm actually a little bit worried about it. Not worried about it, disappointed. I would love 420 for the meme date. I think the community is just going to have a whole lot of fun, especially if we're at 69,000 on 420. but we'll see. Regardless, Bitcoin's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to continue to keep going up. Make the most of it. This cycle is going to be absolutely insane. If this is your first Bitcoin cycle, especially if you're just really, really new here, please study as quick as you possibly can and get to a place where you don't worry about $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 days, both to the upside, that's the upside, and to the downside. They're going to happen. It's cool. Like, I think we've had $4,000 in the last 24 hours, and it's absolutely nothing. This thing, when it rips quick. Little bit of sadness today in the market. Bitcoin is below silver currently, again, but it's just a matter of time. And then we're going to take out silver, Amazon, Alphabet, Saudi Aramco, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, and then we're coming for gold. When Bitcoin is on parity with gold in market cap, we're at about $600,000. That's pretty much a 10x from where we are now, and people are worried that it's a little bit expensive. Been buying every day this week, and I'll continue to buy for the rest of the week, and quite a large number. And yes, it feels expensive. I get it. It always feels expensive. The only time it didn't feel expensive, and I heard this, I think Danny said it on What Bitcoin Did, is in March 2020 when it dropped from about 20,000 down to 3,800, 3,600. Like, that was a bargain. That was absolutely amazing. But even then, it still felt expensive. But whatever price, at 67,000, 69,000, we've still been buying, and we're buying down at the lows. It's not something that you're getting to make money on. This is the money. This is it. This is the hope for humanity. It literally saves you, allows you to be a sovereign individual. If you take care of it, put it in self-custody, back up your seed on steel. Otherwise, you get to hold this stuff. A whole lot of funny money that's not worth the paper it's printed on. We see hyperinflation in many places around the world where they have $100 trillion bills. Inflation is coming to the country that you're at. It's just a matter of time and to what extent. Over time, that's what the currency is going to do. So you work your whole life for this funny money, your whole life for it. And they just steal from you. With taxes, pay your taxes. With whatever's left over for your savings, just put into Bitcoin, because then they can no longer steal that purchasing power going forward into the future. It's so important when people wake up to that. Bitcoin's really going to rip, and it won't take long to go and overtake all these assets here. Now, this is the way most people approach Bitcoin, and I guess this is why I've got this channel here and the message. Like, the message truly, whatever news is going on, whether it's positive, it's negative, there's FOMO, there's FUD in the market. Here's the message, here's the rules. Buy, stack, and chill. I truly believe in it. That's literally the message that I want to send into the world. And read the books, read the bugs. What is happening? Maybe the worst case never eventuates. And this is what we'll stand back at the start. If the worst case doesn't eventuate, Bitcoin's still going up. If the worst case does happen, Bitcoin's going up even more. Like, it's a win-win for people in Bitcoin. But not if you're doing this. You need to change the psychology, the way that you approach things. When you buy, it goes down. That means that's fantastic. You had a good thesis of buying here, drops down. Please buy more. That's the right way. Red days are the best days to smash that buy button. When you hold, it goes sideways. And then when you sell, it pumps. That's how so many people in the markets get wrecked. It should just be buy more, and keep buying more forever and holding it for as long as possible. Just use it as savings, whether it's $50 a day, $100 a day, $5 a day, $1,000 a day. Once you've got that massive, big, giant stack of sats, just keep DCAing in it. The world is in a debt spiral, literally happening. It's not a conspiracy theory. You are not at fault with the economy. It's not your problem. It was not your doing. They're going to try blame it on you. But what you can do is just opt out. Saving the world's hardest form of money. Get as much of it as you can. I know some people aren't going to get to one Bitcoin, but being a whole coiner will be one of the rarest things on planet Earth. There's only ever 21 million. There's way less than that ever available. Many people have multiple. Some people have thousands. MicroStrategy has 215,000 Bitcoin. That means 215,000 people are not going to be able to buy one Bitcoin. Like, it's just math. It's just going up forever. If we can take that away, we're winning. I think that's... let's go into this for a moment. I think it's the most important thing, the decision facing humanity right now. We are seeing the massive wealth transfer. What's going to happen with these people with all the money printing? Maybe we get a massive melt up. Hard assets, just assets in general, scarce assets go up exponentially. We have a dump. They take out profits and then jump all in on Bitcoin. It's game theory. I would not be surprised. It's total speculation, but Lawrence Lepard, what is happening in Sound Money Land is deadly effing serious and going to hurt people. If you want to take shots at that, my thesis, my level of tolerance for you is pretty low. Rant over. Everyone's understanding, like Lawrence Lepard, he's pretty chill. Understand that this is super urgent. To get as much as you possibly can, understand as much as you possibly can. And the exchanges are being shut off. Dear Kiwis, this is from Bitteroo. It is with regret that we announce that we have been debanked in New Zealand. Operation Choke Point 2.0. It's happening in the US. It happened a lot in the US last year. It's happening here in Australia. Capital controls with Commonwealth Bank. $10,000 a month you can put into Bitcoin or crypto. Other banks have put gates in place to stop you exiting their system. They understand that it's failing. They don't want you to be able to have that escape plan. So make the most of it while you can. Our New Zealand payment processor can no longer provide services to crypto industry. We'll search for a new bank, but meanwhile, please don't deposit any NZD New Zealand dollar, as it will bounce back. This is why we Bitcoin, truly, because it gives you freedom. As much freedom as you want. It's fantastic. Now, the banks, I mentioned this earlier, they are reaching out to the Bitcoin miners directly to buy Bitcoin because of the supply shortages on exchanges. The CEO of Hut 8 Mining said, absolute fantastic picture there. People, like the perpetual bid from Wall Street on here, it's not going to last. The Bitcoin on the exchange is not going to last long. It will lead to number go up. The halving coming up, inflation is going up forever. Like, the dollar will be inflated away. Money printing is coming. I think it's a catalyst this year for a world of chaos. Bill Gates, what he's up to, maybe it's a little bit of protection from him as well. The greatest power grab in human history has been undertaken by the man Bill Gates, according to some. People are struggling out there. There's early warning signs of a dying currency and a financial system that rewards gambling more than productivity. This is why opting out of such a system is the winning move. So, one of you legends messaged me the other day. There's a $1 billion lottery ticket sale. Maybe I'm paraphrasing. Maybe I get a little bit wrong. It's $2 a ticket and $316 million odds, I believe, to be able to get that $1 billion. And people will go in there and they'll put so much money into it, and then they'll just talk about it forever. Oh, when I win the lotto on the weekend. No, you won't. Like, that is broke thinking. That is what is wrong with society. Lotto tickets, if you want to gamble, go gamble, but put 90% of your purchasing power into Bitcoin and you'll win. And say with that 10% you win Lotto, then you understand, okay, now I need to put 90% of that into Bitcoin, and then your life's good. But most people who win Lotto are worse off a couple of years later than when they won Lotto. Like, it's an absolute disease that's happening. And we see it here in Australia as well. Sports betting going on. Catch the game last night. Like, who cares? The world, so much stuff is happening right now on a macroeconomic level with the World Economic Forum, the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, with the elections going on. Like, if you haven't gotten to one Bitcoin, you need to get busy as possible, and just laser focus. All you need to do is think about Bitcoin if you can get there, or whatever it is. Maybe only get to 0.1, but just know in your heart that you've done everything you possibly can. Don't leave it up to chance. Don't buy the American lotto ticket. That's not how you reach the American dream, or the dream of your life or your purpose. You work as hard as you can, you do the best you can, and you're saving the world's hardest asset. Now, there's a regime going on. This is Alex Gladstein from the Human Rights Foundation. The Iranian regime has passed a law allowing for the auto deduction of money from bank accounts of women who do not adhere to mandatory hijab. They will use surveillance plus AI to find violators. Yet another example of how fiat currency is a tool of control. Don't think it's happening. It's happening. It's coming to a country near you if it's not there already. These 15-minute cities, CCTV absolutely everywhere. You jaywalk, you get fined. You don't wear a hijab. You speak outside the party line. Maybe they just freeze your bank accounts. Or maybe they just deduct it. Maybe they just steal your purchasing power through inflation. You don't know about it. Either way, Bitcoin is the answer to everything. Pretty much. I think so. And even for the things that we can't stop, that we cannot control. And shout out to everyone that is watching live. We will dive into a banter. But for everything that we can't control, that we can't stop from happening, if you're on a Bitcoin standard, you're a sovereign individual, you're like, okay, that's fine. I'll use a digital ID, whatever. But you're not going to take my property. Try, I leave. I lost it. I don't own any Bitcoin. Things happen. If you sell Bitcoin, though, you deserve to pay tax. Let's be very clear. You should be persuaded not to. It's a good incentive to just buy it, pay the tax on the fiat gains, buy Bitcoin, put it in cold storage, and never let it see the light of day. Because when one Bitcoin hits $1 million, you won't need to sell it. That's the meme, ladies and gentlemen. Kings and queens, you're all legends. Like, actually being here, like, I don't know if I'm sure some people do understand how profound Bitcoin is. Like, people will be using Bitcoin 100 years, 1,000 years, and you're here within the first 15 years. Even if you got in today, you buy it at 67,000. Or what about the people that bought it last cycle? At 69,000, it crashed down to $15,800. If they held on and then DCA'd all the way, they're way better off. But if you get in today and Bitcoin crashes, it's only 15 years old. Like, zoom out a little bit. Panic to buy more, not panic that it's going down. It's a blessing. It's an opportunity. This week's been great, but well done on being here. It's like a force for good. And Bitcoin is going to be doing the greatest deeds in the world. So thank you, everyone, for making the world a better place by opting out of slavery. As Nico Moran says from Simply Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin or slavery. There's no other option because they want total control. Bitcoin's rules without rulers. It's glorious. It's grand. Make the most of this unique time in human history. It is the greatest wealth transfer. Just get whatever slice of it you can. 1 Bitcoin, half Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin, whatever, 0.0001 Bitcoin. Whatever it is for you, whatever is a stretch goal, go as hard as you can. Protect yourself from the evil global billionaires that are not accountable to anyone, that are a law unto themselves. We brought this up yesterday. Using digital ID for bank accounts payments as foundational for keeping tabs on farmers, monitoring people's health records, and helping with, I like outs and quotes, climate problems. Whatever they can do to control you. And if you follow their line, if you're a sheep, if you never speak out, if you never do any wrong, if you just go along with their agenda, you'll be sweet. But that's a pretty horrible life to live. That's not your full potential. That's not chasing truth, light, doing the best you can. The people that speak out against what they're doing, it's going to be hard. So you can opt out with Bitcoin. And if you want to be one of those sheep, still buy Bitcoin. Your purchasing power is still going to go up and you're going to be all right. Because maybe just one day you'll wake up and be like, whoa, I did not sign up for this. I did not agree to their agenda. Maybe get some just in case it catches on. And I would say it has caught on. It's the most recognizable brand in the world. There should be a sense of urgency. Like, I don't want to put out fear or FUD or FOMO. All I hope is Bitcoin gives you hope. It makes the world a grand and glorious adventure. It's an amazing place. It allows you to be so blessed in your life because, you know, you're not just being wrecked, stuffed over, and having no control of that. Anyway, sorry, there's so much news to get through. It's a complete dictatorial power grab. Wide awake media. A lot of people think these people are a bit far right. Whatever. Better listen to both sides, in my opinion, to be able to hear what's going on. Is it as bad as what they say? Is it as good as what they say? From the left to the right, never is. It's probably somewhere in between, and maybe the fear they use is not very helpful, and I'm trying to mitigate that as well here. But what's going on is, it's interesting. We will watch all of this, and I understand it's not quite Bitcoin related. I'll bring it up at the end, actually. We'll come back to that because there's a bit more news to get through and a bit of FUD to fight. But we'll bring it up at the end because Bitcoin fixes it. I know I sound like a broken record. I just don't know any other way to allow you to give yourself permission to just buy as much as possible right now and then just chill. Obviously have a roof over your head, have enough living expenses for 3 months, and then just go as hard as you possibly can. Gold, 2,300 and without electricity consumption. So this Charlie Morris. And they got community noted. According to CBDCs, the annual power consumption of gold mining stands at 131 terawatt hours of electricity per year. Daniel Baden chiming in. Daniel Baden, absolute legend. That's right. The energy required for gold extraction is mostly from fossil fuels. So it has a much higher environmental impact and emission intensity than Bitcoin mining, which is fully electrified and does not leave mercury or arsenic in the local land and water supply. Another reason the narrative is going to shift around Bitcoin mining. Greenpeace is trying to put out the opposite side, more in line with this Charlie, Mr. Morris here. Same with Peter Schiff, these gold bugs, whatever. They're all trying to FUD it. They're going to lose their argument very quickly because they're arguing with Larry Fink, arguably the most powerful person on planet Earth. He's like the only people that have more power is the US, the United States of America, and China. And then it's literally Larry Fink. Like, and that's a private company. Well, it's a company, it's not a private company. So, Peter Schiff, this is hilarious. So far in Q2 2024, here are the results. Silver up 8.7%, gold up 3.4%, Bitcoin down 7%. The results speak for themselves, but not too fast, because what he's saying, okay, Bitcoin's down a little bit, but 5-year performance, here are the results. Silver up 79.01%. Let's just round it up to 80% for them for silver. So silver up 80%. Oh, well done. Gold up 77.8%. Let's do them a favor and round up for them just to make them feel better. 80% on gold. In the last 5 years, Bitcoin is up 1,506.91%. Okay. And that's the power of Bitcoin. Volatility. Peter only talks about the Bitcoin price. He's not talking about it today. I checked. He's only talks about it when it suits his narrative. If you want to buy gold, go ahead, buy gold. Bitcoin's literally better in every way, and it only takes a couple of books to be able to read it. Once you read Bitcoin, Beers for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Evangelism, then jump onto the Bitcoin Standard. And then Broken Money, The Hidden Cost of Money. Maybe by that time you're ready to read Crypto Sovereignty. This is the smartest people, some of the smartest people on planet Earth that have gone so deep down the rabbit hole. They've thought about Bitcoin on such a high level with such awareness, and then they sit down and they focus and they concentrate and they put it into one book that you can read over a week, over a weekend. I'll take that deal any day of the week. Like, thank you to all the Bitcoin authors out there, everyone on X putting out the facts, getting this message out there. For the people that are thinking about Bitcoin, thank you. And then disseminating that information for everyone else. Thank you. I'm very, very grateful. And Carl B. Menger again. In fact, gold performed worse than putting your money in a savings account. Facts. DCA per month into Bitcoin versus gold by 2014. But just any time in there. They've lost. And gold bugs, they're 100% right. They got, not 100%, but they nearly got everything right. And it probably was their time to shine. Like, gold's failed over and over and over again throughout human history. But that aside, on a pure gold money standard where it is backed, it worked sufficient, at least for a while until it didn't. But gold-backed currencies have failed many times, and then they go back to fiat. They were right, and then Bitcoin came out, and Bitcoin just did it better. It was thought about better. It was engineered to be better, and it took a long time. It's like 40 years of cryptography that went and came into Satoshi Nakamoto. He put that out into the world for freedom, for humanity. Like, you have $1 million of gold. If I wanted to send you $1 million of gold, it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of time. With Bitcoin, I could send it for maybe $1.79 wherever you are in the world. Bang. What's better? What's going to have more of a use case? Lightning, you can do micro transactions. You can buy your cup of coffee. Can't do that with gold, and we don't need to be selling Bitcoin now anyway. But these things are coming. You'll be able to loan against it if you want to do that. Gold, you can loan against it as well. I understand that. But they had their day, well, they almost had their day, and we stole their thunder, and no wonder they're a little bit bitter about it. This is the only way. So, 4-bedroom house, New Jersey, 1958, $11,990, $87 a month. What happened? Why is it no longer like that? Well, we went off the gold standard after that is one thing. We depegged from a hard asset. Also, they've printed so much money. The only way to get property to be this cheap back in your life is to buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, let it accumulate over time, and then everything gets cheaper in Bitcoin. Even on the Fed's website, I'll see if I can bring it up here. I'm not real good at multitasking, but Fed cost of eggs in Bitcoin. Buying eggs with a Bitcoin, Federal Reserve. I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is it. Eggs grade A, purse per dozen, Coinbase, Bitcoin. There's one that looked better than that. I wonder if they have the graph properly. Yeah, my apologies. I'll find it for you. I've got something for the Ethereum bros out there to be able to watch as well. So now I'm trolling. I'm going to troll Ethereum, but it's all a psyop. Like, Bitcoin is the only thing. 67,999. Look how it lines up. Absolutely perfect. People are getting so distracted. XRP looks like they're launching a CBDC. I say that tongue in cheek. XRP is like the biggest mind virus out there. It's controlled, it's manipulated. They have some really interesting ties. If you want to participate in the slavery game, be my guest. Go for it. It's your choice. It's going to distract you. It's going to implant this mind virus, but like a worm in your brain. And the narrative around it, it's great. US-backed stablecoin, fantastic. But what they are doing, I don't agree with, I don't align with, but it's your money, it's your choice. You do that. I think freedom is probably a little bit more important in choosing wealth over riches. That's wealthy is being healthy, having time with your friends, your family, being able to do whatever you want, and having the capacity to be able to do it and the money to be able to do it. No point just being rich. Anyway, if you're still, shout out to everyone that is watching live. I'm going to bring this up because Ethereum's a total psyop. People that are buying Ethereum, this is your CEO. Like, this is him. Just explain a good argument why it's good. Anyway, we'll play this, and I'm going to jump into a bit of a banter here. I don't know. Is it mean of me to bring it up and tease Vitalik? You tell me, please.
So, no.
UFOs as well.
Yeah, but it's got a kitty.
It's got a kitty.
Interesting.
So the question is, we can imagine a use of the technology that allows you to monetize personal data because the cost has gone down, but we don't know. I don't think anybody sitting in this room is going to know what.
Hey, what's up, Big Connect?
I am Satoshi Nakamoto. No.
So,
Some of it's very entertaining. I get it. The dude's just a human, and what he's done, he's a very smart, intelligent person. Ethereum, it's not decentralized, it's controlled. They have backdoors. Vitalik clearly says, I should have saved that video as well and brought it up, saying they have the training wheels on. Effectively, there's backdoors in the code. You shouldn't restake. Like, that's coming from them. It's controlled. Wall Street holds the bags, and they're going to dump on you. If you want to choose that, that's up to you. But I don't know. Maybe just read 1 or 2 more Bitcoin books before you go down that route. $1.354 trillion for the market cap. It's only time. The lower it is, the longer it is down here, the better. Let's refresh this and just see where we're at. 67,951. So in the last 24 hours, we saw a high of 69,199 with the low of 65,135. $4,000, another day. If you're not feeling anything, if you don't care that it's up, it's down, or it's going sideways, you've put in the time, put in the effort. If you're a little bit worried that it's down from wherever you bought it for, maybe the number one thing, if you want any advice, is just hit buy and get used to smashing the button when it's red. Because when we have those big drawdowns, if you see that as a good opportunity to be able to buy, even if you're not buying at that stage, it makes the red seem awesome. The green going up, if you just have a plan and you're sticking to it and DCA every day, whatever it is, once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month, but sticking to a plan consistently, then when it goes up as well, you're not buying real high, and then if it comes down, selling, and you're not getting wrecked. You're just approaching it level-headed and accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible. So that was the news with the fast facts, ladies and gentlemen. You're all absolutely epic. If you haven't already, and we vibe, hit subscribe. We're going to get into a bit of a banter here on a glorious Grand Friday. Shout out to everyone that is watching live. I'm going to start from the top, and Michael, g'day. Jake, Stagflation, g'day from Flyover USA. Mike, g'day guys. How you doing? Knoxville, let's go. Let's go. Michael, how to say I don't know what to do without saying I don't know what to do. That's Papa Pow in the house, and he's controlling like the fates of the world's population pretty much by making stuff up, printing stuff, just pulling all these levers like crazy. Like Clown World, it's a circus out there, and you just buy Bitcoin and then it's all just pure entertainment. Yes, we should be aware of what's going on, just for the fact to know that we need to find something. For me, that solution is Bitcoin. If you ever come up with a better solution than Bitcoin, and smart people understand it, they see it, the time goes into it, and it's harder or better than Bitcoin, let us know. I don't think that's possible. There's nothing yet, but if anything comes out, cool. That's great. I don't see it happening. This was like a 0-to-1 event. Anyway, J Powell just reads the scripts. The permaculture knocks Bill. Good to see you. TN permaculture. I didn't wait for the top this time. Stack more sats today. Let's go. Like now, this time, that's how heroes are made. This is how legends are born. That's you, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. And maybe you had no Fiat, and because you'd bought too much Bitcoin last week. Well done. Good job. VT Gothic. G'day from the Green Mountains. Currently in the middle of a multi-day snowstorm. Wow. 15 inches of new powder so far. Powder just back after 8 hours in time to tune in. Oh, wow. Out there snowboarding or skiing, VT Gothic, or are you just going tramping through there? Never seen massive big white fields of snow. And this year, are we going to ski fields? I don't know. Going down to Melbourne in May. Might go there as well. Got a bit on this year, but it's the dream is to go and spend, I don't know, 2 months at a ski resort. Is that too long, too little? I don't know if you could get enough of it. If I could get enough of it. When I find something I really like, I have snowboarded a couple of times, more kiteboarding, but not like that. Not where it's just fresh, beautiful powder. Liam, good to see you, mate. G'day from New Zealand. Love your content. Keep it up. Truly appreciate everyone here. Like, Bitcoiners, you just know it. Like, you're the best people in the world, truly, because you're willing to look at things critically, change everything that you've learned up until now, and then back yourself and your thesis and your reasoning by putting the energy that you work from, whatever way you've obtained that fiat, into this magic internet money. Like, that's the power of Bitcoiners. They're just so easy to be around, and normally it's like I find them hard to be there. Sats Hodler, Nick, Orange Pill and 2 friends, nice. What a legend, absolute legend. Like, I don't know, it doesn't take long after buying and stacking Bitcoin, even if it's going down, going up, whatever. Once you get it, like, you want the world to get it. And I try different approaches all the time, but Sats Hodler Nick, legend. Starting September 2023, Bitcoin was 42k AUD and they weren't interested. Now we're over 100k and now they're wanting more information. You get Bitcoin at the price you deserve. Absolutely, Nick. And sometimes, you know, I've got a shirt on the Bitcoin Lab.io if you're interested that just says humble. And it's something we need to remind ourselves of, is to stay humble. But also to let people know that they, this is the end of it. If you've been watching long, I'm going to swear today. They fucked up. Like, if they knew about it and they didn't buy it earlier, they fucked up. I fucked up when I didn't buy Bitcoin at under $100 Australian. I started buying it when it was 200 times cheaper. But I had to humble myself to be able to do that. People buying at $100,000 AUD Australian today, it's still cheap in the scheme of things, and Bitcoin's always going to feel expensive. Like, if it dumped down, I don't know, to the lows of the cycle, like high $15,000, maybe that would feel cheap for people, but $15,000 is still a lot of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bitcoin's always going to feel cheap. But let them know you will get Bitcoin at the price you deserve, and the quicker you understand it, the better off you're going to be. But anyway, I know that's not really what you're saying, Sats. Like, congratulations on Orange people and getting them to understand more information. But yeah, people are going to get it at the price they deserve, and that's harsh, but there's no CEO you can call. It's really just about your ego and getting that in check. And Peter Schiff, I wonder if he ever capitulates or he's holding a trust already. The dude's so disingenuous, so I don't really know what he's up to. Orange Pill Dispenser, good to see you this morning, brother. I saw your message and I've read half of it, and very, very heartfelt, and I won't share it here, but I appreciate you saying that. I will read the rest of it after I go to the beach and be in contact hopefully later on today. But I appreciate you sharing that with me. I just didn't want you to see that it was seen, and I was ignoring it. Simon Picala, g'day. TN Permaculture, out here mining Fiat, getting left of the decimal point. Don't be lazy, smash the like. G'day, stacking and chilling. Rob and FL. Good to see you this morning, Rob. Just buy stack and chill. Rob's all over it. Good day, Martin. Hi, Cooling. Hey, hi, Cooling. What a name. AI Apocalypse, a Coin Holio. I have no idea. Coin Holio? I don't know what that is. I'm lost. Anyway, if you can explain it, I'd be interested. Do something, do anything. Hit the like button already. Randy, go buy some. No, I will most definitely not be buying that. Shitcoin is, you know, I went down the altcoin mine virus path, and that's why I'm so vehemently against it. If you want to gamble, gamble, but know that you are gambling, and don't bring altcoins into the chat. You know, I brought up Ethereum and I brought up XRP. I touched on them very briefly, but I'm not telling anyone to buy them. I think that's the worst possible decision anyone can do with what's happening in the world. Like, the best thing that you could do in life right now is just buy, stack, and chill Bitcoin. But good morning, Randy. Bitcoin price doesn't matter. Amount of wealth sequestered in Satoshis is what matters. That's what Sailor knows, what every stock investor knows. Just get off zero allocation up and to the right. VT Gothic, absolutely. As that's you, Ricky. G'day, Sean. G'day, early Bitcoiners. Diesel Kane in the house. Anyone know how much Bitcoin is available on the exchanges now? Yeah, 1.74 or 1.76 million coins. I brought it up right at the start. Let's see. 1.74 million Bitcoin is left. We are at all-time lows for that. There we go. VT Gothic has got it exactly. 1.744. 1,744,820 Bitcoin total on exchange according to CoinGlass Live Tracker. Lotto is another tax. Sports are for children. Bread and circuses are for real. If your idea of a retirement is the lotto, you might be a redneck. Jeff Foxworthy. Yeah, so many people truly believe that. Like, they're willing to spend $20, $50 a week or whatever it is on lotto, but they won't invest $5, $10 a week into Bitcoin a day. It's crazy. It's sad. Like, we need to get better at the education, but for sure. The prices are getting away from regular people, but it's also getting away from us. Absolutely, it is. Just buy it now. Like, whatever price it is. It's not going to be here forever. Like, whatever Bitcoin you hold now, it's probably 75% of the amount of Bitcoin or more that you're ever going to hold in your entire life. That's crazy to think about. Morning legend, Jason Mercer. Eric, good to see you. Bitcoin for life. How the weather up there? It's pouring down here. Very overcast this morning, but we'll see. We got rid of the humidity. Fiat is financial slavery, tyranny. Bitcoin is about freedom and sovereignty for sure. McLovin, yes sir. We all need more, Jason, 100%. Smash the like, Mike. I watched a really good video earlier called Ether's Going to Zero. It was pretty compelling. Just concrete my Bitcoin thesis. It is, if you don't believe Ethereum is going to zero, it's definitely going to zero against Bitcoin. We see that on the charts. That's verifiable, but I don't know. Go do some more research. Understand what you're investing in. All the altcoins are a narrative. They're a tech play. Some of them. And then Bitcoin's a freedom play. They're doing different things. And for Bitcoin to be lumped in with that degeneracy, it's sad, it's sick, and it's a psy-op. Anyway, my two thoughts. Dave Yu, finally, good to see you. TY for the reminder, might I hit the like button to help spread the message of Bitcoin legends. If you can share this video with someone, tag me on X, share it with someone in real life. Or one of the podcasts I've done. The Michael Dunworth's a very fun one. Tony from the Bitcoin Ways, a very heartfelt one for people that don't understand how quickly the governments can just shut down bank accounts. Hyperinflation can happen. What happened with the Turkish lira, what happened in Lebanon. That's pretty deep video. The Peter Dunworth, that's a fun one, talking about $7 billion Bitcoin. If you can share one of those videos to get the message out there, whatever you can do, it's greatly appreciated. Absolutely. BK, 2 p.m. West Coast time, USA. Orange Pill, U-Rock. As an Irish R&B singer, I feel compelled to write a funky song about Bitcoin. McLovin, do it. Absolutely do it, and then please tag me, and if we can play it live for everyone, that would be epic. Or if, I'm not trying to take it over, but regardless, I want to hear it, and I'm sure so many other people would want to hear it as well, so let us know with that. Someday I may spend there's like 8 zeros, 9 zeros, 5 sats for 2 pieces. Vitalik clapping, yikes. People see on mushrooms are just like that. People you see on mushrooms are just like that, dude. Project Veritas putting forward a former ETH insider claim Vitalik and co. more corrupt than FTX and deals with government, I guess. Stay tuned. Yeah. But they're working alongside, and it won't be an issue for them. But, their trust or whatever it is based in Sweden, it's not decentralized at the end of the day. It's not for your freedom. It's a power grab, a money grab. Maybe governments around the world adopt XRP, Ethereum for their CBDCs. Who cares? I'm not supporting that. I'm here trying to chase as much truth in my life. And I guess if you get into altcoins and then you find out its narrative and then you start to understand Bitcoin and Bitcoin's truth, and then you go back and to the lies, the manipulation of everything that is crypto. It's like you're selling your soul, in my opinion. Maybe just, I don't know. I'd rather just be aligned with truth to be able to pursue it. And if my thesis change. If I get new information, I need a pivot, I'll pivot. But until then, why go back to something that's not good for you? Hello, legends from Raven. Roy, how do you do a Bitcoin will? The Bitcoin Way is probably the best people to speak to. Yeah, it's a shill, but they can actually help you out. I'm not willing to give that advice here. Not a financial planner. And Bitcoin, if you lose it, you lose it. So maybe take the time and talk to a professional, whether that's the Bitcoin Way or somebody else. The first 30 minutes is free. Whoever it is, it's important, and do it. Talk to a lawyer and do it. Pretty much the same, just making sure you have everything in there, but you don't want to have those 24 words written on the will as well, for sure. So reach out to them or somebody else. I wonder if I could get somebody on that could talk about it from a professional viewpoint. I think that would be the best. But until then, reach out to someone. It's important for you to do. Greg, XRP sounds like ZERP, which means zero. Crypto creeper, see a lawyer. When you die, take it to the grave. I call it a Satoshi kamikaze. Pass it on to your family and your next of kin, because if you are doing the right thing and you're being the best person you can possibly be, and you've raised your children to be the best version of themselves, or you don't have children and your nieces and nephews or whatever, whoever you pass it on to is aligned with truth. It's better to give them that economic power to be able to do more good in the world. I don't think, some people are going to die, and many people have died with Bitcoin and taken it to their grave, and there's nothing we can ever do to reclaim that. But I don't agree with it. So yeah, I just don't agree with it. I think pass it on to someone that's going to do good in the world. when you die, if it's in a cold wallet, you don't need a will. Of course you do. You should have a will, ladies and gentlemen, whatever stage you are in life, and should be at any age, but especially if you're over the age of 25, you should have a will. Where are we at? Dan of Steel, the super squeeze is nearly here. ETFs, ETPs, ETCs coming out, and nations globally. Morgan Stanley bending the knee. Keep your eyes on the prize. Smashing. FJ in motion. G'day, Sean. All from sunny Arizona. What is Arizona like? I've never been there. It looks quite, and correct me if I'm wrong, it looks quite hot and dry. Sort of looks like a lot of parts of Australia. So when we travel to deep rainforest or where the leaves are falling or changing colour. So I haven't been there yet. But what's the... What are some of the grand and glorious places you can go on adventures for in Arizona? Ripple stablecoin will be priced higher than XRP. Life of 40-something. Dave, you, rainy California. Love California. Run your own nodes, Pete. Got a video coming out shortly in regards to a node, fully edited, so it's going to take me quite a while. I want it to be one of the best videos I've ever put out because it's one of the most important things that you can do as a Bitcoiner. So if you haven't already, hit the sub button for that. It may take me a while, but we've got some epic interviews coming out as well. Cold Oregon. Now, Oregon's a glorious place. Washington State. Virginia's probably one of my favorite places in the world. You can't wear thongs at a ski resort. Oh, I bet you I could. They're like, thongs are like jandals, sandals, pluggers, whatever you call them, like those open bits of rubber, and they've got the little thing and you put your foot in it when you're like walking around. They're like an open, I don't know. Dave Hughes calling them thongs, like we call them thongs here, and then said we call them jandals. Australia, pluggers as well, we'll call them. So I don't know, whatever they are, but I reckon I could. Or just walk around barefoot in the snow, maybe not for too long, but time is money. I like people who are worth my time 100%. Let's talk about hot buttered sausage. A little bit random. It sounds delicious depending on what the sausage is made out of. G'day, mate. Just want to know if having 1.5 Bitcoin and I'm doing well. Jason Martin, definitely don't put your stack on the internet. What you have done is absolutely incredible. Now, make sure you look after it forever. It's safe. It's secure. You're going to make it. Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing really well. Like, only 21 million people possible could ever own one whole Bitcoin. You've exceeded that. You've really gone over and above. Like, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going as hard as you can. But you're right. Like, you're all good. Well done. Truly, you have made it. Yes. You just hold on to it now. Don't sell it. My fruit trees blossoming, tomato plants thriving, peppers surging, lettuce coming through, potatoes planted out, pak choice on, Bitcoin flourishing into maturity too. Man alive, I love spring. That woke me up. That is absolutely awesome. Go out there, touch some grass, put some plants in the ground, and be sovereign in every way. Dan of Steel, that is epic. Love the channel. What do you guys think about the BitKey hardware wallet? I'm not sure. I need to look into it a little bit more, but it sort of looks like it's sort of like a warm wallet. It's not cold storage. And for me, when I buy Bitcoin, it goes into cold storage and then deep cold storage. And it's a one-way trip. It's not coming back out. So to have Bitcoin to be able to spend easily, for me, I just use Lightning. I transfer Fiat into the exchange and then put that in the Lightning wallet. They're different things. But it's cool. Maybe I need to look into a little bit more. Selling Bitcoin is just so far away from my mental capacity. To me, it doesn't make any sense to be able to facilitate signing easier. Like, why? Yeah, for me, like, it's hard to wrap my head around. I don't know. that's my thoughts on it, and I will look into it because it's pretty interesting. It came out by Jack Dorsey. Well, I'll look into it and I'll find out. I'll give a proper response of what my thoughts are. I just haven't looked into it because I'm not interested in selling. Maybe that's naive. Orange pilled my best mate yesterday. He bought 0.0017 in the dip. Let's go, Stephen Collins. Well done. That's a lot. Mr. Android, Jason Martin. That's a lot, mate. Well done. OPD, F the Fed, Alexander, Corn. Holio is from Beavis and Butthead show where I've not seen that since I was, I don't know, 6, 7 maybe. Beavis and Butthead reference, lol. Cornholio. I'll go and see if I can bring it up. Holdio, Cornholio. Everyone's watched too many cartoons as a kid. They don't make cartoons like they used to, do they? Pretty crazy watching some of them. Some of the things that they were brainwashing us as kids for. Mum wouldn't let me watch it. Banking crisis. It's probably not a bad thing at the end of the day. Didn't he become Cornholio when he had too much sugar? But was she watching it? Miss Android, probably. The ETH going to zero is in Joe Burnett's channel. Awesome. Joe Burnett is a must follow. Very technical videos. Nobody uses XC wrap Altcoin. XRP crap. Very well done, Dave. You lose your Bitcoin, it's a benefit to the world. 100%, Mr. Android. Cheers, mate. 90%. Desert, 100 messages. Well done, everyone. Mooney Falls. G'day, Sean, and all from sunny Arizona. Thanks for the great info. Now, you can wear a thong, but not an orange jock strap. When we're talking about thongs, we're not talking about G-strings, G-bangers that women, ladies wear. So Australians call like pluggers thongs. I'm not going to run out and get one, but an orange jockstrap, maybe if it said Bitcoin on it, no. You do you. Wow. How does it go so degenerate so quick? What to do in Surrey, Arizona? Mountain snow skiing boating on the Colorado River, hiking and riding the desert, hiding from the sun. Awesome. So it sounds like I need to do some snow skiing there. But then there's so many places in the world to ski. Lost my Bitcoin in a boating accident. Happens to so many people. Steel sinks. Don't go boating. With it, 3 years waiting on this bull run, lots of patience and stress. Justin Crisp, cool, but like, why are you waiting on it? To sell, or just to be able to accumulate more in the dips, or get back above border and confirm that you've gotten the world's hardest asset and it's going up forever? Like, it's just TikTok next block. It's another day. It gets exciting, the numbers pump, but once they start running, like, it's hard to get more sats. Like, the amount of sats you get per USD is going down dramatically. It's why, Justin, has it been like, you're a whole coiner, like, you've put in the work, you've obviously read the books, like, why has it been stressful? Like, hasn't it been an amazing, glorious opportunity to be able to get that Bitcoin Aqua wallet? No, I've not tried it yet. Ran and Simpy, Courage the Cowardly Dog. They're even pushing woke in cartoons today. Best to stick with watching anime. Hello from San Antonio. We call them flip-flops. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to be able to explain it. Flip-flops. Or you can go out there and wear an orange thong. Up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Your body, your choice. Whatever you want to put on your feet is up to you. Not selling, just feeling better about where... Yeah, I get it. I do get it, but I just feel so sad when it starts pumping. Lynn, yes, please, get someone on about the will thing. Thanks, Sean, for what you do. Cool. I will... I'll find out. Can't talk to my person because they're not a Bitcoiner and they won't come on. I'll see what I can do, who I can reach out to, and maybe it'll take a little while to come out, but I don't know. Hit subscribe, stay informed. For it, the world, when we're in Bitcoin and we're looking at what's going on with the 2030 agenda, digital IDs, CBDCs, the PSYOP, the elections, the gaslighting, the misinformation, the programming, the propaganda that is being put out there on mainstream, right wing, left wing, all of it can seem pretty dystopian. It can feel like we are in the panopticon, which is life. All I'd ask is please just study Bitcoin as much as possible. It is really the freedom tool for humanity. The timing of it is amazing. There's no coincidences in life, or if there are coincidences in life, whatever you believe God is, I believe coincidences are the language of God. For me, God is the great outdoors. It is life itself. But everything is math or energy. Everything is light. We are light. We're literally made from stardust. That's not some hippie stuff. It's scientifically proven. That's what we are made out of. And energy, everything's vibration. Bitcoin's the best form of that to be able to create freedom in the world. It will give you hope, and it allows the world to be brighter again, for you to be able to approach the world with grace and gratitude, because you know everything will be all right for yourself. And if you're really stacking hard, you can make it all right for your family. If you're really, really going as hard and as nuts as you possibly can for as long as you can, then you're going to help your friends as well. But it is absolutely awesome. My wife's sister has been setting up an exchange, and they'll be buying Bitcoin tomorrow. It's only taken them 4 years to be able to get there, and they are going to get Bitcoin at the price they deserve. But from us buying Bitcoin ruthlessly, relentlessly, it's now given people permission to now align themselves with the greatest freedom technology that has ever existed. This is a gift, and I believe there is a war of good and evil happening on a cosmic level outside, and I believe we're here as just a representation of that. You know, when they say we have the good wolf or the bad wolf, we can choose whether we align with truth or darkness, love or despair. And when you go more and more and more towards that truth, like, the world becomes a better place. Your world gets brighter, more enjoyable. That's great. That's grand. But when you're shining bright or doing you, following truth, like when you be you, like the world changes for the better. Here's a perfect example of this. You walk in to wherever, a group of people, and you're like, oh, I hate life. And somebody comes in and like, good morning. And they're like, oh, what's good about it? You know? And then you're like, oh, you know, it brings you down. But if you just walk in and you're like, good morning, and everyone's like, good morning, how you doing? Like, it lifts everyone up, and the world literally becomes better. Their world, their point of reference. That's just like a quick example. Like, misery loves company, and misery doesn't so much like positivity, because it's a better emotion, but they like to stay down in fear, shame, guilt, whatever it is. But they're not willing to do anything. Like, do what is hard in your life will be easy. Like, that's it. That's the hack. The cheat code to life is buy Bitcoin, and everything just perpetually gets better, or infinitely gets better. The egg chart was right. It only shows around 4 years. You need to zoom out. Thank you. Let's bring it back up. Diamond X. Crypto Creeper, in America, you're supposed to be a free person. Unfortunately, for some, this means free to be stupid. Just ask. I won't, I get it. I don't understand enough about it to comment. Can we? Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm getting lost in that chart. I'll bring it up. I'll look through it properly. It's looking a little bit weird to me still. Believe shifts FUD nonsense in the early days and lost Bitcoin because of it. I don't listen to him anymore. Yeah, not good. It's a shame. He understands macroeconomic. He can put out some good information there. He's just been so disingenuous, aligning himself with greed and not putting his ego in check, and he's destroying the lives of many individuals. And Like, that doesn't serve humanity. Our job should be to be the very best we can, always, you know? And like, we're human. We literally stuff up. Like, I stuffed up and got into altcoins, but that's not the worst thing I've done in my life. Like, I was a teenager once. We're going to get in trouble. We're going to do things that we shouldn't do. But if you can become better over time and continually to pursue that, cool. Anyway, just found your channel. Glad I did. Cheers, brother, and thanks for the good energy. Appreciate that, Justin. And it's a second one. I'll look into it a little bit more. Banking yous are also nice. I hope it ends up becoming a super fan and successful popular show like Pat McCafe did. You're the best. Here to support you all the way. Truly appreciate it. The biggest way you can support is hit subscribe. Obviously, a lot of you have done that. Smash the like button and then share it with someone, whether it's in real life, on X, put a comment after the video. Like, truly help. If you want to get the signal out there, just start a conversation. Buy, stack, and chill. The bitcoinlab.io. Actually, like, if you're interested, I was going to wrap it up, but I'll show you this. Let's hope it doesn't bring up this bloody nonsense again. Reload. Come on. Give me a sec here, and I'll see if I can. It's it's what happens when you lock down your security. I'll go through my internet settings and change a few things to be able to bring it up. It's very specific what I can access, and I was playing around the other day. Maybe I blocked it by mistake. Anyway, the Bitcoin Lab, there's a shirt there that says humble. Like, stay humble. I strive to be as humble as I can. Your life infinitely gets better, like grand and glorious. But if you can just humbly let people know, being on a Bitcoin standard, everything gets better. All they need to do is just buy, stack, and chill. Like, it's super easy. You can go there, support the channel if you're that way inclined. But the biggest way that you can show your support to me is just by buying, stacking, and chilling. Truly, like, that's the message. I want, like, life is beautiful. We've got these freaking things out there. I'm 38 years old and I'm scheduled to die in 6 months or whatever, like self-imposed euthanasia. Nothing on that woman. It's the system around that woman that's made her feel that much despair in life. What type of life is that? We're not born to then opt out of our own lives. That's not the point of life. And no reason are we given this gift, then to be able to just snuff it out. That makes no sense. I understand people are in pain. I've been in so much pain myself and done some things that if they were successful, I wouldn't be here today. I understand that. And it's because so many things are messed up. Bad things happen in life, but we should be pursuing truth to the highest order and continuing to improve and reiterate and aligning with Bitcoin and sharing that message as much as possible. I don't think there's anything more important where we are now. We've got this window of time, like this 2030 agenda. Maybe it never plays off. Maybe it's all conspiracy. Maybe they never bring in digital IDs, CBDCs. Maybe we never go cashless. Maybe it's absolutely amazing. Maybe inflation, they get that under control. Maybe. But I don't want to align with that. I want to be prepared and I want to be following truth. I don't want to be stuck in that fiat system because at the moment we are seeing inflation. We are seeing digital IDs. We are seeing CBDCs. Like, what world? We've got this box, this space and time to really make the most of it, create awareness and allow people to opt out. And if there's enough of us, it doesn't take long. It's like the 100 monkey effect. Once 100 monkeys get it, everyone else gets it, and then they align. We don't need 3 billion people to understand Bitcoin. Maybe we need 200 million. Believe I heard that on Preston Pish's podcast yesterday. And it's the 100 monkey effect. When 100 can do it, then every monkey everywhere can do it. They understand it. They align. The world becomes a better place straight away. This is the mission that I'm on. And I hope some of you join me on that. Just get the truth out there. Get them to read the books. Otherwise, it's mandated. or the intention is literally to get people to eat the bugs. Yes, it's a tagline, read the books or eat the bugs, but that's what Klaus Schwab from the World Economic Forum wants. Bill Gates going for the biggest power grab in human history. Thankfully, he's not buying Bitcoin, or I hope not. So buy as much Bitcoin and go for true wealth, true power, and do good with it. Be responsible with it, please. Make the world a better place, because the world is grand and glorious. Love life, or learn to love life over time, and give yourself the permission to be able to do everything you can now. Do what is hard now, please. Anyway, thanks, Sean. Laters. You're all legends. Have a beautiful day. Thanks so much. Peace.